how would you introduce roller derby as a sport?
So the way I like to put it is it's like a mixture of rugby and capture the flag, but there is no ball. The people are the ball. And you're on skates at the same time.
Like many roller derby players, Alpha first learned the sport existed when she watched the movie Whip It. It's a coming-of-age story about a small-town Texas girl who discovers a sense of belonging on the local roller derby team.
I just had been thinking I need a way to be active, but I need to trick myself into being active. And so I just started poking around and found out that Cornfed exists. I've lived in Muncie my whole life and never knew that Cornfed existed. I don't feel like I fit in most places. And right off the bat, I noticed these people are awkward and weird just like me. And instantly I was like, okay, I think I found my people.
I want to zero in on something Alpha said there. I need to trick myself into being active. Lots of people feel that way about exercise. Health is Wealth is supported by Meridian Health Services and LifeStream Services. The AARP surveyed 1,000 adults about barriers that keep them from exercising, and the most common answer across all age groups was, I don't have the willpower to exercise as much as I should. Close behind, the third most common answer was, I really do not enjoy exercise. Those two answers are very closely related because think about it. If you enjoy exercise, it doesn't take willpower because it's fun. Nobody says, I gotta muster up the willpower to play that new video game I just bought. So why isn't exercise more enjoyable? Well, there are many reasons, obviously, but here's a big one. That same AARP survey also found that on average, adults reported spending 70% of their exercise time alone.
Cornfed has been around Delaware County with its home here in Muncie since 2010. It started on the west side of town in this little church. They would clear off all of the seats out of the sanctuary, have their practice, and then they'd put all the seats back. And then finally, after a year or so, we found our home here at Gibson's. They have been really kind to us over the years.
Cornfed Roller Derby is part of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, which boasts over 400 roller derby leagues on 6 continents. I'm assuming Antarctica is the other one. But if you're new to roller derby like I am, don't worry, here's a quick roller derby 101.
We are about to get started with this first whistle.
A roller derby bout is 60 minutes total, divided up into jams of up to 2 minutes each. Each team has 5 players on the track at a time.
And there are 4 blockers. One of those blockers is a pivot, and then you have your jammer. Jammers are the ones with their stars on the helmet, and they're the only ones who can score. And the pivot, they're usually calling the shots most of the time. I say loosely because things get chaotic in roller derby in seconds, and that's usually what happens. So in terms of scoring, the way you're set up on the track is you've got the pack, which is all blockers from both teams together, mashed together. And so the jammer's goal is they have to break through that pack. And then after they go around the track once, then after that, every pair of hips on the opposite team that they pass is a point.
Okay, I know that seems like a lot, and we didn't even touch on blocking, penalties, and star passes. But look, I started introducing my sons to football last year, and those rules are way more complicated than this. One of the unique roller derby traditions you've already seen is the skater names. It's a roller derby tradition for the skaters to choose sort of an alter ego, much like a pro wrestler.
I'm an elementary music teacher, and I wanted it something to tie in with my day job and my everyday persona, and it kind of to be then on the track take this other persona. My husband helped me workshop some different names, and we came up with Melody Mayhem.
There are some really creative skater names on the team, and the referees even go by nicknames too. So even though Melody's now retired as a skater, she can still keep her alter ego going as a ref. Cornfed practices at Gibson Arena in Muncie, but they play their home bouts at the Delaware County Fairgrounds.
And Rockford Rage is going to have the first lead jammer.
So when you come to a bout, it is such a fun time because the energy is just electric. Whether you're in the crowd, whether you're on the track, whether you're outside, you can hear people yelling because there is constant action. There's always something exciting happening. And it's just so much fun because one of the things I love about roller derby is that even though we are very competitive against our opponents, at the end of the day, we love each other. It's not uncommon for us to be hugging on the track, dancing during timeouts together. And even like on the track when you're playing, if you get a really good hit on somebody or you're blocking somebody and they can't get through, it's like, oh, that hurts so bad. That's the best compliment you can get.
And Alpha told me the pain she feels the day after a bout doesn't just come from the hard hits.
Everything hurts. Everything hurts. Primarily, it's going to be your thighs and the glutes. It's mostly everything from the waist down, but also depends on where you might have gotten hit that game. You may get a nice shoulder hit or, trying to keep those core muscles tight. You might feel that in the morning. But generally, you're feeling everything the next day.
So it's super physical, and if you got the skating down, but then you're adding in like transferring your weight and figuring out that balance, but then you have something that's called derby stance where you have to be you lower your gravity, and that uses a whole different set of muscles in your legs. And when I joined roller derby, I was training for half marathons, and I would leave practice with my legs so sore. And I'm like, I'm running half marathons. Why are my legs so sore? Because it's such a different set of muscles.
We talked earlier about how the most common reason people say they don't exercise more is because they don't have the willpower. Alpha and the rest of the team are out here skating week in and week out, and it's clearly an intense workout. So where do they get the willpower? For one thing, it's the accountability of having teammates that are pushing each other to keep at it.
Get in there! I love it! Oh, I love this.
We push each other, we build you up. It's not like when you are out running, you're all by yourself. And yeah, I can track what my run is and be like, oh yeah, I can push myself. But out here on the track, I need that push to be better, to skate faster, to hit harder, to do all those other things in that competitive nature.
I will say there's been many practices where I've come in and I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this, but I need to get my attendance credit and I just need to do it so that I am active and I get here. And there have been multiple people that I come in and then they just instantly make my night. I just talk to them, they make my night. I'm like, okay, I don't regret coming here at all because this is exactly what I needed when I came here. Sometimes goofy things happen during practice. Everyone's kind of feeling like a silly goose. There's plenty of that happen. Or maybe everybody's struggling, but then we're all struggling together. And that just makes it so much more tolerable and so much more fun.
This is what Alpha was talking about earlier when she said roller derby is her way of tricking herself into being active. If you know you should exercise more, but you struggle to find the willpower to do it regularly, you're not alone. 48% of Americans are right there with you. So do what Alpha did and find a team to join. It doesn't have to be roller derby, but it could be.
Right now we've got roughly 25 active skaters, and we have people from all backgrounds. We have everyone from Ball State students who maybe just started here this fall up to we have people who are in their late 40s in the middle of their career, and we have everyone from medical backgrounds to teachers. I'm a writer myself. We've got creatives, artists, and we teach you literally everything. If you have never put on a pair of skates in your life, we will set you up with skates. We have gear you can borrow. All you need is $5 and a mouth guard.
Join a team to trick yourself into staying active, and you might make some new friends along the way.
I didn't know anyone going in. I just knew that I wanted to do this. And then I realized, holy crap, these people are awesome. And so I have hung out with people outside of here a lot because they are really interesting, awesome people, right in my town that I wouldn't have known were here otherwise.
If you have a team sport that helps you stay active, drop a comment and let us know. And make sure to like and subscribe. Did you know there's a Hall of Famer right here in Muncie? I'll tell you more on the next episode of Health is Wealth. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.